Hi, I'm Peter Carey, and I'm standing in front of the old Chrysler headquarters in Highland Park, Michigan. You know, for a long time, we didn't pay much attention to what they did back there. To be honest, they just didn't offer much competition. They even admit that in their current advertising. Dodge full-size trucks account for only about 7% of the market. So we've concentrated our efforts on beating Ford. But things are changing at Chrysler. Here's the new Chrysler headquarters in Auburn Hills, Michigan. It's here that Dodge designed its first new full-size pickup in 22 years. And they're planning on attracting customers who have been satisfied with a Chevrolet.
Hi, I'm Loretta Higgins. Welcome to Truck Track, a video newsletter devoted to exploring important market issues facing you and Chevrolet trucks.
Our first edition is going to examine the new Dodge Ram pickup from every angle. We've talked with marketing specialists, engineers, and consumers.
During the next few minutes, you're going to see what kind of competition you can expect from Dodge and their new Ram pickup.
One of the things you have to admit is that the new Dodge is going to definitely be an improvement over what they had before. And with that, our sales force needs to be prepared to address some questions. What is good about our truck and what's good about their truck? And that's where studying up on product really helps. The fact, again, that they have a new design is going to help them tremendously.
You can't look at the vehicle without noticing the front end immediately. And the first thing you notice is the grille and this kind of sloping, which you don't see on pickups, or at least the first time you've seen it now with the Dodge.
My personal preference, you know, I don't like the way they redesigned the front end. I know they had to do something, but I just don't care the way they've done it.
I like this new Dodge, myself. I do. I like the shape of it. I like how they bubbled the quarter panel out, bubbled the front, the grille, maybe not so much.
Whether they take to it or not, I don't know. It's just something that's going to need time to show one way or the other.
Some people are going to love it and some are going to hate it. And unfortunately, styling is a subjective thing. We won't know until 2 years down the road if their styling really hit the mark. We have great looks, we have great truck attributes, and I don't think they would. I think, in fact, they'd probably like to trade positions with us in a minute to have our truck and give that design to somebody else.
Dodge selected the Ram 1500 Laramie SLT as its focus vehicle. It competes directly with the C1500 Silverado. The Dodge product mix calls for most Laramies to be equipped with an 8-foot cargo bed. The 5.2-liter V8 engine, which is optional on two-wheel drive trucks but standard on four-wheel drive models, and an optional 4-speed automatic transmission. The Dodge also features styling and exterior dimensions which give it a big look. When comparing long wheelbase models with standard cabs, the Dodge Ram's overall length stretches 7 inches beyond CK's. It's about 2 inches higher and a little more than 2 inches wider.
Dodge is aiming their advertising and marketing efforts at personal use buyers who account for about 80% of the full-size pickup market. They claim to be changing the rules about full-size pickups by putting more emphasis on size, ride, and comfort.
Drivers of full-size pickups pretty much know what they're in for. That's about to change.
A lot of what you're going to hear from Dodge and probably from their sales force is that the Dodge is bigger, longer, wider, and those things are true. But on the external part of the truck, that's not necessarily an advantage. The fact that they have these bigger dimensions could be a disadvantage. What we find in our surveys, what customers really truly need in a full-size pickup truck is 3-passenger seating in the front. They need to put a 4-by-8-foot piece of plywood in the back, and once you've attained those two major goals, you have what a full-size pickup truck can handle. We do those things, and we do them very well, and we do them with less dimension on the outside and about the same, and I really emphasize about the same on the inside.
Dodge's extra length certainly can't be noticed in the cargo box. Well, that's because the cargo box dimensions are similar. In fact, a standard 4-by-8 sheet of plywood fits in both. Both cargo boxes are 97.6 inches long. The pickup depth on the Dodge is 19.4 inches. Chevy's is 19.2. Chevy actually has a couple of key advantages. Our load height is about 2 inches lower, and the tailgate opening is wider. So even though Dodge looks bigger, the size doesn't add up to more cargo carrying utility. It's not just size that Dodge is promoting. They're claiming to have a few innovative features back here, such as 2-tier loading and cargo partitioning slots. As you know, Chevy has 2-tier loading, and cargo partitioning slots are available with a factory-equipped cargo bed liner.
We do what a pickup truck should do and then some. And if a salesperson understands all the dimensional differences, the power differences, the towing capacities, they're going to find out our truck is every bit as good and then some over the T300, and that's what's important.
It looks like it's wider. I don't really see it being a whole lot taller than a Chevrolet per se. It looks like it's a little wider. The inside looks, I don't know, I can't really say compared to a Chevy if it doesn't look like it's any bigger or any smaller, I'd say.
Dodge ads boast that its cab is the largest, roomiest, and most comfortable in the industry. Well, the tail of the tape tells us an interesting story. Let's see. Chevy's hip room measures about 60 inches across. That's about an inch less than a comparable measurement in the Dodge. But if you look in a Dodge sales brochure, there's about a 5-inch difference. The reason is that Dodge measures from under one armrest to under the other. But now let's measure the Ram 1500 the same way. When you measure the seat width, the Dodge is about the same as Chevy. But to take advantage of the extra room Dodge says it has, you kind of have to sit at an angle and slide up under the armrest. Try sitting like that sometime. Other vital interior dimensions are almost dead even. Dodge lists its headroom at 40.2 inches. Chevy's is 39.9. And when it comes to legroom, Dodge has 41 inches and Chevy has 41.7. Does Dodge's claim to have the largest, roomiest cab rest with these measurements? Well, no, at least we don't think so. The standard cab does have added room behind the seat, which is okay for small objects. That's the most Dodge can offer. But it's a little cramped for larger objects. For people who really want extra room behind the seat, Chevy offers an extended cab.
Well, here in the Dodge, you really can't put much except a couple pencils and, I don't know, a screwdriver or two, but over here on the Chevy, y'all got to take a look at this.
The extended cab is more important to me than for the kids' sake. I can put them in back behind me.
You can fit all kinds. You fit at least 3 people back there. Lunchbox, toolbox, your kid, a guitar or 2, you're set. You can always throw your drums in the back seat, your amps, and you're good for the show.
There's plenty of room with the optional rear seat folded up. And ordered without the rear seat, there's more than 40 cubic feet of cargo space back here. Dodge won't have an extended cab until June at the earliest. So Chevrolet has a major advantage because 40% of full-size truck buyers want extended cabs, and the market is growing rapidly.
The growth of this market has been phenomenal, and we believe it'll continue for several years. The mere fact that it's 40% last year, basically limited by production, and we plan on it being somewhere around 60–64% this year.
Well, it might meet the needs of some other people, but I think I could use the extra seating.
I was in like a 3/4-ton Dodge. The drive, it was like a kind of a rough ride.
Initially, it was kind of interesting. In our new design, we took a lot of hits from the competition about developing a truck that offered a comfortable ride and good handling. And ironically enough, now it seems that most of the other manufacturers are seeking that in their vehicles, particularly their trucks. People have recognized that truck customers need to carry a load, may need to tow, but they also want to drive in comfort. And that's both in the ride and handling characteristics that are provided through the suspension to the interior comforts. And again, Chevrolet has done a great job in providing that over the last few years. And once again, our sales force has history to provide an example. Our truck is out there, our truck has these things, and they have these things that have been broadly accepted by the marketplace.
Trailering certainly changes the way a vehicle feels and how it handles. With all the length that you're dealing with, the extra weight you're dealing with, the vehicle tends to react differently. It tends to react a little more slowly, or if you don't control the trailer weight distribution correctly, it can be very violent, and it can be very uncomfortable for the driver.
The Ram 1500's rear bumper is rated for pulling a 5,000-pound trailer when properly equipped, and Dodge has advertised that Chevy's maximum is 2,000 pounds. Now, there are a lot of facts and figures to consider when determining trailer capacities. Chevy's rear step bumper's recommended maximum trailer weight is 4,000 pounds when properly equipped.
Ford and Dodge have chosen a little different approach. They've rated them higher. We're not sure that that's necessarily the best. As we go to higher ratings, the 5,000-pound trailer is what we feel is where we should go to the load equalizing hitch, which we show here, versus the bumper hitch where we'd have a ball installed here. A little safer with the load equalizing hitch at the 5,000-pound trailer rating. And that's why we're at 4,000 for the bumper. For the higher weight ratings, we go to the load equalizing style hitch.
Let's take a look at Dodge's two most popular engines compared to Chevy's most popular power plants. Now, in both cases, Dodge holds a slight horsepower advantage, but Chevy holds a torque advantage. Chevy is also more fuel efficient. The 4.3-liter V6 gets 2 more miles to the gallon in the city and on the highway compared to Dodge's 3.9-liter V6. And compared to Dodge's 5.2-liter V8, Chevy's popular 5.7-liter V8 gets an extra mile to the gallon in the city and on the highway.
Fuel economy. One big advantage we have over all the competition in full-size pickup trucks, and we have it over Dodge, which is important. You would assume with bigger front end, more mass, which the Dodge has, they get poor fuel economy, and they do. And this will make a big difference to commercial users who look at fuel as a ongoing expense, but it's going to make a big difference to the personal use user. Just the average person buying a pickup truck is going to know a difference at the pump.
When we purchased our Chevys, we looked into the Dodges and we looked at the Chevys, and we found that the Dodges do have a little bit more horsepower, but the Chevys have more torque, and they come up with a better gas mileage. And owning a business and having as many trucks as we have, we had to look at the bottom line, which is savings.
One way to sell against Dodge's power claims is to take people on a test drive. Let them feel the power of the Chevy engine and the smooth operation of the turbo Hydromatic 4L60E transmission. Chances are, with Chevy's powertrain performance, people won't notice any power disparity, but they will eventually notice the Chevy fuel efficiency advantage. Now, 1 or 2 miles per gallon doesn't seem like much, but it averages out to about $100 a year. That's enough to buy all these groceries. And with Chevy Extended Cab, you have some place to put the groceries inside the cab.
Well, one of the big features you're going to hear about from Dodge this year is their V10. V10 is going to be highest horsepower, highest torque, but the fact of the matter is the market for big block gasoline engines is small and diminishing. About 4% of the market is all that's left in big block gas.
Well, with the Dodge V10, it's a new design. I try not to go with anything too new because you never know what kind of bugs are going to be in there. And I like to go with something that's tried and true and proven.
A V8 engine has a number of advantages over a V10 engine. One, it's even fire and also balanced. A V10 engine, in the case of the Dodge V10 engine, we know that the Viper version of it is an uneven firing, meaning that it is not a uniform spacing between fires. And we also know that it's out of balance, and it cannot be balanced because it is a V10. We recognize as General Motors that from an American culture standpoint, 10 is always better than 2, but in reality, we think that a large V8 can do everything that a V10 can do, and then some.
Dodge does rate their engine at higher horsepower and torque figures higher than Chevy's. But consider what difference this higher horsepower and torque actually delivers in terms of maximum trailering. Chevy's maximum using a fifth-wheel trailer hitch is 13,500 pounds. Dodge's published maximum is within 100 pounds at 13,006.
The V10 is just one engine story that Chrysler is promoting. The other is its Cummins diesel. Until now, the top seller for Dodge has been the 5.9-liter Cummins turbo diesel. It's in nearly 80% of the Dodge 2500 series trucks and nearly 90% of the 3500 series trucks. The Cummins is a very heavy engine.
It requires a substantial suspension for support, which may affect the ride. Chevy counters with the 6.5-liter V8 turbo diesel. Ordering the Cummins engine costs about $4,400 with required equipment. The heavy-duty turbo diesel goes for around $2,825. That means the Cummins costs nearly $1,600 more. That's one reason the Chevy diesel has become so popular since being introduced in 1991. It now outsells the Cummins in the 1-ton market, and Chevy is gaining in the 3/4-ton market. One other point to remember is that the Cummins diesel and the V10 are only available in 3/4 and 1-ton pickups. These trucks make up only a small portion of the market.
We offer diesels not only in our 8,500 and above GVW range, but we offer them down in the half-ton pickup trucks. We're the only manufacturer to do that. So from half-tons to 1-tons, we have turbo diesels. In fact, we have naturally aspirated diesels in the lower GVW range. And Dodge nor Ford offers that. So the market has grown substantially. In fact, it's going to be somewhere around 120,000 diesel-equipped vehicles this year, from 80,000 just last year, from 40,000 only a couple of years ago. And we're well prepared across all GVW ranges to attack the diesel market.
Don Fry of Havers put over 2 million miles on this '76 Chevy.
Well, for the past 17 years, I've used this Chevrolet pickup to haul the Great Falls Tribune. 420 miles a day, round trip. That's 5 and 6 days a week. Over 2 million miles and still going strong.
Want a longer lasting, dependable truck? Then see your Montana Chevy dealer.
This is Campbell Corners. It's a junkyard, the end of the line. The fact is, many vehicles eventually end up here. So the question is, what can you tell people to expect from a Chevy or a Dodge?
The styling is sensational, but I wonder about the quality of the product itself.
Well, I think they're both nicely styled, but styling seems rather unimportant to me. If I were going to buy a truck, I want one that's functional, one that's hardy, one that would really perform the function of a truck, and that is, I think, hard work.
We just got rid of a 78 Chevy, and the guy drove it off the lot, and he's using it plowing in another area.
What we know is that Chevrolet at this point in time has a very strong quality image. We have won awards in the past for our quality in our pickup truck, and that's a known, that's a given. Some things that might be questionable is where the Dodge is going to fall on the quality surveys. It's relatively a new design. With new design, sometimes problems do occur. So that's kind of a question mark from the Dodge owner, and for that matter, salesperson to contend with. Nobody knows where that truck's going to turn out. Did they hit the quality cues in their production, in the design, that's going to give them the type of recognition that the CK pickup truck has received?
Because the Dodge is new, we don't know what to expect. But how about Chevy? Well, compared to all full-line truck companies, foreign and domestic, over the past 10 years, a higher percentage of Chevy trucks are still on the road today. That's why Chevy states it has the most dependable, longest-lasting line of trucks in America. And Chevy full-size pickups have the market's best resale value. When it comes to dependability and value, Chevy has it.
Dodge is claiming the rules have changed with the new Ram pickup. That might be true when compared to the old Ram pickup, but they're just catching up with Chevy. Let's look at the rules Dodge claims to be changing. Rule number 1, for serious torque, diesel is the only choice. Consumers choose diesel engines for more than torque. In fact, gas and diesel engines frequently have comparable torque. 2 years ago, big gas engines made up 8% of the full-size pickup market. Today, these engines represent just 4% of the market. People are making the switch to diesel engines for many reasons, including durability, fuel efficiency, and low maintenance. They get what they're looking for with Chevy's diesel engines. Rule number 2, trucks ride like trucks. It's true. And if you're in a Chevy truck, it's a smooth, comfortable ride. Rule number 3, trucks are clumsy. You wouldn't feel that way if you'd been driving a Chevy. Handling and maneuverability considerations are an important part of the Chevy CK pickup engineering process. Remember, Chevy prefers to distribute the trailer weight to all wheels to ensure better handling. Besides, with greater exterior dimensions and only comparable interior space, Dodge may be the basis for its own rule. Rule number 4, four-wheel anti-lock brakes are for cars, not pickups. Actually, four-wheel anti-lock brakes have been available on several Chevy trucks for a few years. Besides, four-wheel ABS is actually a $500 option on the Ram. Ram comes standard with rear-wheel anti-lock brakes, just like the CK pickup. Rule number 5, trucks aren't supposed to be comfortable. Here again, if you've been driving a Chevy, you know trucks are comfortable. And as you saw in the comparison, all the new Dodge has done is approach the room and comfort already offered by Chevy. Rule number 6, airbags and trucks don't go together. Ram does have a driver's side airbag, but even then it's only one safety feature, and safety isn't one thing, it's everything. Safety includes features like side guard door beams, rear wheel anti-lock brakes, a self-aligning steering wheel, energy-absorbing steering column, and built-in crumple zones. All these features are part of CK's total safety system, and it's important for consumers to know Chevy has such a system. Rule number 7, trucks are noisy. Chevy also believes a quiet ride is important. That's why special noise-deadening materials such as added insulation have been used for many years. Even CK's aerodynamic styling helps reduce noise. Rule number 8, a truck is a truck, not an office. CK pickups have served as an office on the road for working people for many years. And as their needs have changed, we've added features such as tie-down hooks, cup holders, center consoles, and storage areas. Rule number 9, trucks are magnets for rust. Chevy uses double-sided galvanized steel on all exterior panels except the roof. Look at the record. We can state and prove our durability. Don't forget, compared to all full-line truck companies over the past 10 years, a higher percentage of Chevy trucks are still on the road. So is Dodge changing the rules? Maybe when you compare the new Dodge to the old Dodge, but they certainly aren't changing rules when comparing the new Ram to Chevy CK.
Dodge's introduction of a new full-size pickup is just one of the stories happening in the auto industry. Let's take a quick look at some of the other news from Chevy and around the automotive world.
First, there's a question from the field about Lumina minivan's built-in dual child seat option. The design lets you fold the seat down for small children, or you can fold it up and out of the way for adults. The built-in child seat is available only with optional 7-passenger seating and includes an integral child seat in both middle row outer position seats. Instructions for use are printed on the seat. Remember, the child restraint is designed only for use by children who weigh between 20 and 40 pounds and whose height is 40 inches or less and who are capable of sitting upright alone. That's when using this belt system. The seat can also be used by a child over 40 pounds when using the vehicle shoulder and lap belt. Be sure to see the owner's manual supplement for details.
Since 1991, Japanese auto companies have lost 4% of their U.S. market share. At the same time, GM, Chrysler, and Ford have gained more than 4%. And Japan's largest manufacturer, Toyota, has announced a major shift in marketing plans for its T100 pickup. Along with a 6.4% price increase for 1994, Toyota is adding to the content level. The plan is to shift work applications to upscale buyers.
In other truck news, Chevrolet and GMC Truck are teaming up to launch the industry's largest alternative fuels program. The plan is to sell more than 6,000 vehicles equipped to use natural gas. These include vans, full-size pickups, and medium-duty trucks.
And the Department of Transportation has ruled that all 1999 model year light-duty trucks must have dual airbags. The rule goes into effect for cars in 1998.
We want to close this edition of Truck Track with a recap of how the new Dodge Ram T300 compares to the Chevy CK.
As you saw, Dodge's extra inches don't translate into added cargo or passenger room. CK pickups have an efficient design that provides plenty of room for people and cargo. It also helps CK's maneuverability. Big can simply mean it's tighter fitting into a garage or parking spaces. It can also mean needing more room to open doors.
And while Dodge claims to have the biggest and most powerful engines in the market, compare performance on the road and at the fuel pump.
All the dimensions and details we've discussed can be found in your information pamphlet. Check the numbers and see how the Ram T300 compares to Chevy CK.
For even more information, we'll send you this CK Pocket Guide. One side shows features and benefits, the other side compares features with Ford and Dodge. There's even more information in your 1994 competitive comparison book coming in December. And be sure to check Spec Manager.
We want to close this first edition of Truck Track with one thought that will help sell more CK pickups. We've done a lot of research and talked to a lot of people. One message came through loud and clear: test drive. Prospective buyers need to know they don't have to give up anything to drive a Chevy truck.
Chevrolet is unafraid of a test drive. If a salesperson gets a customer in, by the time they get done with all the dimensional comparisons, you'll have a customer who's somewhat confused. We're very close. We're not ashamed of that. We can tow with the competition. We have all the interior dimensions. We can do everything a pickup truck needs to do. Get them out, take them for a drive. If that doesn't convince them, then you're going to have a tough sell anyhow. But our drive, 90% of the time, that's my opinion, but a test drive will definitely convince a customer that CK offers what they want.